Hey, I'm Butterfly.
Hey, I'm Firefly.
Have you ever wondered if we aren't being told the truth about everything?
What have we been lied to about? Join us as we have conversations and ask questions about everything. We invite you to keep an open mind and consider the unfathomable.
Let's break the chains that enslave our minds. Come on, let's go down the rabbit hole.
What's up, Butterfly?
Hey, Firefly, what's up?
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
So you had some time to do some anthropological observations this weekend.
Yes,
hmm
anthropological research.
some research, and what you gleaned was some information about the younger generation.
Well, it's interesting that you say that because you know what? I like to call it the now generation.
Hmm.
And because I think it encompasses not only the younger generation, but um, just the now generation.
Oh, so you're saying it has nothing to do with age. It's kind of a mind virus that has settled upon everyone.
Yeah. I mean, for the most part, it is younger for sure. But I'm not talking about like 20 somethings, 30 something. Like, I've lost track of all those terms. There's like Gen X, Gen Z, Gen Y. I don't know. I can't,
You and I are Gen X.
are we? I can't keep track of all that
We're
stuff.
not boomers,
It's
but we're not millennials.
it's confusing to me. So
Well, yeah.
I just call it generation now. It's the now generation because they are perfectly trained for digital obedience.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
And that's scary.
It's really scary. So what I've noticed is like, and you know, I've even seen this in a few people that are like older than us. You know, they they're totally like on board and up to date with all the latest like apps for like ordering food and Ubers and all this stuff. And all they do is just like go on their phone and, you know, order whatever they want, whatever their whim is, and they, you know, have it delivered or whatever. And I was just noticing how so many people are doing this now. Um, and I thought, wow, this is really interesting because these people are all digital slaves and they're going to be totally on board with all the latest digital currency, digital surveillance,
No.
all of that stuff. And I think all of these conveniences that people have become accustomed to and what's like so easy to have um, is making it so that people are kind of addicted to this stuff and they like the so-called convenience of it. And so they're just going to hop on board with each next step. And each next step has increments of stealing away bits of our freedom.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Oh, it's such a good point. God,
Yeah.
you just put it so succinctly. What they do is they just acquiesce incrementally
Mhm.
and they're just sleepwalking into a digital prison.
Exactly. Like, you know, all these little steps just seem so easy and so convenient and everything. And they just hop on board with the next step. And
You
each one
know,
is going to be deeper and deeper into enslavement.
I pretty much cook for my daughter most of the time.
Hmm.
I cook at home. But if we're going to go out, I almost insist that we order from the app first and I just go pick it up because it is like night and day the experience. So, like, we'll go to the Habit. Like, the Habit is a burger place in our area.
Hmm.
It's good. I've never really had bad at the Habit. It's been good. So, this is like a commercial for them. But
We're endorsing them.
I don't ever want to go to the Habit, walk in the traditional way, order food, wait for it to be prepared, grab it, and go.
Why?
Takes forever
Well,
because customer service these days has dropped off so dramatically that people don't have a sense of urgency. When you go in, the cashier is vaccinated and they take a long time to just do the very basic rudiments of taking your order.
well, but I think a big part of that though is because of all of these apps and people ordering it on the app ahead of time. So like I went to Jersey Mike's recently And there was literally, I think, two people ahead of me. Like it wasn't crowded when I got there. And I think we waited like 15 minutes before we could even place our order. Like we were standing in line, and meanwhile, like probably 10 people got in line behind me. So, and it was because of all the online orders and people ordering on the apps. So they were like, they really should have like a separate team, like doing all of that stuff, I think. But they were trying to
That's true.
they were trying to fill all these orders
And
for,
that's because
you know,
Jersey Mike's is probably trying to like keep their overhead low and maximize profits.
right.
And they're one of these companies where I lived in New Jersey right next to the first one.
Oh, wow.
It was cool.
That's cool.
So I saw the first Jersey Mike's, and Jersey Mike's I've always liked. So I've been going there for years now.
Mhm.
But I think they're kind of one of those things where the syndrome is they're growing too much too quick. And maybe that might be an outcropping of that syndrome.
I think
They're saying we're not going to staff the place appropriately to handle mobile orders and walk-ins.
I think that's happening at a lot of places. And I think more what's happening is more people are doing like what you say you're doing. They don't want to deal with the in-person experience. They just want to order it ahead
Oh
of
my
time.
God. Because now, if I've ordered ahead of time with the app, I just go to the Habit, I walk in, I grab my stuff, and I go.
Right.
And now the old fashioned way is unacceptable to me.
See, you're falling into that trap. You're falling into that, like, oh, it's so convenient. And actually, you're missing out on a real life experience. I mean, maybe it could be better. Like, so I was out of town this weekend and
You're such a gallivanter.
I'm a gallivanter. And, I was staying in a hotel and we just wanted to get like some food that was not like
Gross.
not gross and not like some crazy like outing, but we wanted something decent. So we're like, let's just, order pizza. I went online and I was literally online like for 15 minutes trying to get this like website to work and it was something wrong with it and it wouldn't work. I couldn't place the order. And finally I just did it the old fashioned
Oh
way.
my God,
And
that happened to me this
I made
weekend.
a phone call and I just called and said, hey, I want a large, you know, half pepperoni, half Canadian bacon and pineapple pizza and a
Oh my
Caesar
God.
salad.
Do you like Canadian bacon pineapple?
I love it.
Oh my God, that's my favorite. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's like my favorite type since I was a little kid.
Wow. So anyway, within like 2 minutes, I had placed my order, and they were like,
I
"That
know.
that'll be ready in 20 minutes." And like, I could have saved myself another 15 or 20 minutes that I had been struggling with their website beforehand.
Dude, that same thing
You know.
happened. So we went to Shake Shack
Hmm.
and dude, 35 bucks.
It's crazy.
I got a double bacon cheeseburger. My daughter got a single bacon cheeseburger, order fries and a shake. That was $35.
It's ridiculous.
And the burger was mediocre. I give it a C plus.
I don't really like Shake
It
Shack.
wasn't that
This
great.
is kind of an unendorsement.
Now, see,
I want to try to shake there though.
I
That's
haven't
that's
either.
like their forte, I think, right?
Well, see, I worked in New York City when they first opened.
Uh-huh.
And so the very first one was in Grand Central Station.
Oh.
And it was downstairs. And when they first opened, it was so good.
Hmm.
But again, these places they grow so big that the quality
They
kind of
can't.
drops off.
Yeah,
They
they
can't
can't.
keep that high level.
They can't.
But so my daughter was trying to order on the app and coming up with some technical difficulty. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it ended up taking her a long time
Hmm.
to use the app. So you're right, we're being corralled in that behavior.
We're getting corralled into that behavior when the old-fashioned way really isn't such a problem. You literally have
I'm
to
impatient.
you literally have to talk to somebody for about maybe 30 seconds to get
But then you
the
got to
same
wait
thing
for your food to be
accomplished.
prepared.
Well, but like I called it in and it was prepared
Calling it in is
when we
cool.
got there.
That's the same.
But you know what? I don't mind to wait for it to be prepared because if like we talked about this in another episode, when I go out to eat, like that's an experience that I want to enjoy and appreciate. So If
Well, no,
I'm
that's true.
if I'm gonna
That's true.
sit at a restaurant, that's part of my experience. That's why I like going to nice places.
Yeah,
But
and no, that's
but if
true.
I'm just gonna pick up a pizza, I'll call it in. And I feel like, is that such a big deal to make a phone call and call it in? Like, do we really have to have an app for everything? You know what I mean? Like, this is my point. Like, they're getting everybody on board with this app thing. Like, I've been to some restaurants where I sit down at the table and they're like, the menu is on an app. And I'm like, just bring me a paper menu. Like, I'm not gonna, I actually took that, I took that option off my phone. And I just tell them my phone doesn't work like that. I need a paper menu.
They're like,
I'm,
excuse me, you
I'm
have an
sure.
iPhone. You can do this.
Yeah, and then like they take my phone. Sometimes they're like, "I'll help you," and I'm like, "Okay," and then they can't figure it out either because it literally won't work. So, um, but yeah, I mean, like, is it such a problem to like open up a paper menu and like read on the menu what you want and tell the person right there what you want?
Epiphany.
Epiphany. Okay.
Remember the Type O Negative song?
Mm-hmm.
What does he sing about?
Emotional blackmail.
Yeah, it's emotional blackmail
It is. They try
because
to make you feel like you're,
they're going, well,
yeah,
you're right. We're corralling you into a digital prison, but you're gonna have to wait in line and wait if you don't order
and
online.
we're gonna make it so much easier for you if you do it this way.
You're not gonna be able to just not do it. So
Yeah,
that's what I'm
there
kind of buying into that a little bit by ordering off that
you are.
because
There,
I'm kind of going, look, dude, at least my daughter, I'm not gonna be like, hey, let's go out to eat unless you can order from the app because I am to the point now where I'm like, I
you're
I'm not willing to wait in line.
you're impatient, and this is what has happened to people. They're becoming conditioned to um into digital obedience.
I think that's
So
what's happening to me.
you're falling into this trap. You're, everything's an app. Everything is ordered that
But
way,
wait a
paid
second,
that way.
I eat at home most of the time.
Right. But everything, like, okay, so I was with a large group of people and over the weekend, and we were like hanging out, and I was just it was interesting to me because I was watching all of these people were getting on their phones and getting on various apps to like place the orders for different things. And I was just like, that's interesting. Like,
It's a weird behavior.
it's a weird behavior to me, like that everybody's so accustomed to that. And I'm like, I think I'll have a cocktail and I'm just gonna talk to this waiter here and tell him what I want. And you know what I mean? I think my point to this whole
You're
thing
thinking outside the box.
my point to this whole thing is that the now generation, whether they're 20 something or 40 something, they are all on board with everything being digital, everything being on an app, and totally okay with that because of the convenience. But the next thing is we're going to pay with our phones. A lot of them do that. I see that happening a lot. Pay with your phone. And what's going to happen after that? You're going to be paying with the chip in your hand or whatever, because
That's right.
everybody's probably going to have to have a chip for our safety, because they're going to say there's too much AI and you don't know what's fake and what's real, and you have to have a chip so we can identify that you are the one that is, at this place or whatever. Also, the safety of where, all the criminals and stuff, we need to keep you safe. What?
I had another epiphany. People are
You're,
just bringing them out.
I guess.
So this epiphany was, what if they're going to say, okay, you know what, Butterfly? You need to stop with the conspiracy theories.
Well,
Okay.
yeah, they don't like
We're
those.
like now the tenor of their messaging is okay, we're really getting tired. Now you guys were really not cooperating during cooties. You didn't cooperate.
And we were getting our patience was running thin then.
Yeah.
Even Joe Biden
You
said that.
wouldn't wear your
Remember,
mask.
his
You wouldn't go
patience
get your
was running
pokies.
thin.
And then, I saw you like not having 6 feet of separation sometimes. So you don't cooperate.
You're kind of a rebel.
You're kind of a rebel. You're kind of stubborn. And so now you're pushing back against our digital prison.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm getting intolerant of this. I'm intolerant. You're not allowed to, so shut up or we're gonna put you in jail. I think that might be. shut up. We're going to put you in jail now.
Right.
You go along with our coercing into a digital prison or you go to jail.
Yeah.
I think that's where they're at.
I think it could be headed in that direction.
Because what you're saying is like, I don't, I think what you're kind of saying is, okay, you're sitting around with all the soccer moms
Hmm.
and they're all grabbing their phone as the game's about to end. And you're going, this is a weird behavior.
Yeah.
Everybody is on their phone. Remember, I told you the other day we had people in from out of town, we went to In-N-Out. What did we do?
Everybody was on their
I'm
phones.
sitting
It's
there
weird.
with people who traveled from all the way across the country to see us.
Yeah.
And okay, so you traveled 3,000 miles and I'm right here. Hi, how's it going?
Right.
And you're on your phone.
Yeah.
So what are you doing? I could talk to you on your phone 3,000 miles away. You don't need to come here to be on your phone in front of me. I think people are addicted to their phones.
People are addicted to their phones. I actually read something a couple years ago that said that the cell phones were sort of the beta testing for the chip.
Yeah.
Because do you see how everybody's so I mean, all you have to do is just drive down a road or go into any public place where there's a human being. Everybody is addicted to their phones. They're on the phones constantly, and pretty soon, it, now people have it on their watch. It's like they're
It's
holding
not
them.
new. It's
They're
not new. We've been like this for 20 years.
Yeah, they're holding them, and now people are wearing them. Well, what's the next step? They're going to be in them.
Well, um, my wife got addicted to Facebook and it was gnarly to watch.
Mm,
She got addicted to Facebook.
mm,
So she would be on Facebook, I'm not joking, about 20 hours a day.
mm.
She would get on Facebook immediately first
Wow.
thing, and then she'd be on Facebook until like 2 in the morning and then just barely pass out for a little while and then get back on Facebook because she had like thousands of followers and she was just constantly just like posting pictures of herself and getting all of
Or
this
she's
attention.
addicted to that endorphin rush that Mark Zuckerberg talks
Yes.
about. Like, oh, I like it. And then they get the endorphin rush.
Every single one. So I would see some of her behavior. Like she would post a selfie and there would be literally hundreds of comments of people talking about how beautiful she was. So she would just be getting like, do another line of Coke, do another line of Coke,
Oh,
do
yeah.
another line of Coke. Well, so I told her one time we went out to dinner and I said, can you put your phone away? It's me, you, and our daughter. Put your phone away for a little while, please, so we can have a nice dinner as a family. Is that okay? And so she reluctantly agrees. But then, they got their notification.
Oh, right.
So the phone's going, bzz, 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 bzz,
Hmm.
and she's shaking, can't control herself,
Wow.
and keeps looking at the phone, looking at
She
it.
had the DTs.
She had the DT. So literally every 5 seconds, she's picking up her phone.
Oh, my God.
I think what it is when someone receives a notification, it's kind of like a crackhead.
Yeah.
They can't control themselves with
Right.
notifications.
Do you know what? I turned all those notifications off. Like, I don't have those on, like for Instagram and stuff.
Just for texts that are from
Just
your
for
like important people.
texts from my personal like friends that know me. You know what I mean? But like I don't have notifications for my in fact, I kind of make it a rule like I don't really even check email on my phone. I only check it on my computer normally unless I'm like out of town and there's like some pressing urgent issue. But normally like if I'm out of town, I don't check it and I don't have any notifications on like with Instagram or anything like that or mail. So I don't even know. And I think it's better to just not know because I want to be present in what I'm doing at the time.
I noticed that you can do that.
I want
You're
to
able
be,
to put your phone away for hours at a time.
mhm,
I'm able to do that too.
yeah. I like to experience, I mean, yes, I do check my phone and stuff. And like over the weekend, I was sending some pictures of things that were going on to various family members and stuff like that. But I felt like that was like sort of like in the now type of thing. But I try to just not be like connected to the digital world while I'm in the real world,
You
you
know what?
know?
I totally see where you're coming from, and I see myself maybe falling into the trap and kind of needing to recognize it and calibrate
I think so.
because like I was hitting balls in the driving range the other day, and a coyote came right next to me,
Oh my gosh.
like walked right like from me to you, right by
Whoa.
me. So I took pictures of him, but I was sitting there going, you know what am I doing? Because instead of just observing nature and just watching him and being like, oh, cool.
Mm,
I immediately am thinking, oh, I got to capture this with my phone and take pictures and text it to people who might think it's cool.
right.
And I spent the whole time because he was only in my line of sight for like a few seconds. He just came out and said hi and then walked away. And then so I was like, oh, tick, 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 tick. So I'm not even watching him. I'm operating my camera while he's
Right.
there. So I'm not
Right.
even really
And
experiencing
then you
him.
know what I've noticed, like when I do that kind of behavior, because I do it too. Um, then I end up spending the next like 10 minutes like reviewing the photos and sending them to people, which I'm like, okay, now that's taking me out of the present moment of what I'm actually taking pictures of. So,
What if you traveled thousands of miles to go to Yellowstone National Park and you're in this beautiful national park, and instead of just observing it, you're spending all your time preoccupied with how am I going to capture this and convey this to my audience?
right.
And you know what? That's also it's kind of like corralling us into this idea that your life is a reality show and
You have to
your
share it with everybody.
audience, like
You
you
have
have an
to share it with
audience.
everybody.
I
Like,
don't have an
yeah,
audience.
like a lot of people like to post all their family photos and
No one
vacation
cares.
photos on Instagram for people to see.
My
I
boss
see that.
my boss was a horrific demon of a man. But anyways, he so I worked for this guy and he went with his family to what's the name of that place down in Central America? And it's an island and everybody goes there for vacation. All the elites have been there. It's
Panama?
no, it begins with a B and
Belize.
it's Belize.
Yeah.
Yes. So he's
Mhm.
like, excuse me.
I'm going to Belize.
So there's a TV in the office and he pulls up his pictures on the TV. So no one
Oh my gosh.
no one can escape his
They have to
tour.
see his vacation videos.
And he is just convinced that we are all just enthralled with his videos and pictures of his trip to Belize. And nobody cared.
Yeah.
Everybody, but he's the boss. So everyone
Yeah.
does this disgusting behavior of acting like they care
Mm,
and acting like they're impressed because they want to suck up to him. That's disgusting.
yeah.
But I think what's going on is people have been conditioned to believe that their life is a reality show. And when you do something that's this is spectacular, this is a birthday party, or this is a trip to the nature, or I'm scuba diving, I need to figure out how to capture this and convey it to my
Mm,
audience.
yeah. And I think, you know,
That's a sick thing.
the fact that everybody's got a cell phone that can do all of that and they're so used to doing it, and now it's like even little kids, like the kids, so I don't even know what like the little kids generation is called. That's why I just call this the now generation, because it's just everybody right now is, whether you're 5 years old or 45 years old, it's like everybody is on a cell phone and like, you know totally hooked on it. And it's really scary because the younger kids don't know life any other way. Like they've grown up with all of this stuff. So they don't even know what it's like to not have it. And they're just going to become accustomed to everything digital. Like I said, it's complete digital obedience and digital slavery. So everything on an app and everything digital, banking digital, entertainment, surveillance, it's all digital and nobody will question it.
No. And if you do question it, now, how easy is it for them to impose punitive consequences on people who don't go along?
Right.
And you turn your money off. You don't get to buy food.
That's the scary thing because if, once money goes digital, they can control it, they can turn it off, they can make it so you have to stay in your 15-minute city because maybe your digital money doesn't even work outside of that range.
Or what if your self-driving car is not even going to take you
Right.
You can't go to Dodger Stadium.
It just doesn't drive that far.
You don't have enough carbon footprints available to drive down to Dodger Stadium.
Yeah, you've been too many times this year.
Yeah. Plus, you had meat. You ate meat there.
At a hot dog.
That adversely affects your carbon footprint. So that's what's going on. And totally, I see the slippery slope, but I also see myself slipping into the convenience of it.
Well, this is again why I call it the now generation because it seems like everybody's falling in line.
It's
And
not new
it's not new.
because
Everybody's falling in line and it's so easy and
in
convenient.
the late 90s, my mom's friend that worked with her at the airport, she's got two daughters, and back then they were like 16.
Hmm.
So we went to Yosemite, and when you go up the 395, have you ever driven out there?
Yeah,
Oh my
I
goodness.
think I got really car sick going to Yosemite.
Well, you can't.
It gets really windy.
So we took the 395, and which is the Eastern Sierras, which is spectacularly gorgeous out
Hmm.
by Bishop. And then you come in, and then you make a left at Tuolumne Meadows, which
Yeah,
is like Lee Vining.
I know where that is.
And so you drive in this spectacular road
Hmm.
that goes into this spectacular valley. And it's about 2 hours of just jaw-dropping beauty. And the girls in the back were playing video games the whole time.
Oh my God,
Didn't even look
it's
out
so
the window.
sad.
And then so we pull into like a lookout. You know those little things you can pull over
Yeah,
and take pictures
and throw up.
and throw them if you need to. That's what some people have to do. So I didn't puke, but I got out and back then I didn't even have a cell phone. So I literally got out and just for my own personal edification took in the view. We don't do that anymore.
No.
I just sat there and looked with my eyeballs and then got back in the car. Took a deep breath. Really I just really like drunk it in.
Hmm.
People don't do that anymore.
No.
So the girls, they get out of the van, they put down the video game for a minute, they came out, and this was their take. They looked and they went, yeah, wow, it's so pretty. And then the other one goes, it kind of looks like the Grand Canyon. And then they went back to play video games. So I think what's happened is appreciation of nature might be getting kind of ground out of people because look at how we talked about like the micromanagers on the island. So you went out to the
Right.
island and they're like, excuse me, those birds are invasive. Look, let me tell you why that's a bad bird. We put a blue thing on his beak because he does behavior that we can't condone. So he's been voted off the
You
island.
can't control.
I think that those people that micromanage the island don't really have an appreciation of nature.
I
They've
just had an epiphany.
epiphany. Go ahead.
So I think you just made a really good point, and I think that all of this conditioning to, you know, be on digital watch all the time has taken us out of nature. And I think that's part of one of the plans too. They don't want us to appreciate or be in nature because when you are appreciating and being in nature, you are you're not locked into that digital enslavement. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when you're locked into that digital enslavement, you're okay with living in a 15-minute city in a coffin apartment, and being in a self-driving car or an e-bike. You don't think about nature. And I think the more people that they get on board with that, the better. They don't want people wanting to like venture out and see the great outdoors or to find out what else is out there, like maybe drive to Montana or the Yosemite or whatever. They want
That's
people to
interesting.
be totally satisfied with living in their 15-minute cities.
That's a very interesting point. And then if you have a love of nature, maybe perhaps a 15-minute city in a cramped little urban sphere
That's
is
not
not going to be.
appealing.
So you're going to be like, you know what? No, I think I'm going to go live in a rural area. I'd like to have a house and maybe like an organic farm. I'd like to have some pigs. I'd like to have some cows. I'd like to have a dog, maybe a cat, and I'd want to grow some crops. And I want to have like 10 acres of land.
Yeah. Or even
There,
just a backyard
a
with
backyard
a dog.
with a dog.
You know,
I want to have some space. They're just like, no,
you'll own nothing and
you
you'll be
get
happy
nothing. You don't own anything, first of all. And you live in this coffin apartment with your VR goggles on.
and you'll be happy with that.
And I think that's maybe the conditioning.
Yeah.
Because these people, they don't seem to have an appreciation of nature.
No.
like especially younger people.
Right.
And like I said, like maybe they go appreciate nature, but it's kind of like they're just checking off their bucket list, and it's just like something that they did.
Right.
And it's like, oh well, that kind of rounds out my social media accoutrements.
Well, it makes for good pictures on
It's
Instagram.
good pictures,
Yeah.
but they don't really go
They
out
can go get like some, cute hiking shorts from Patagonia or something and then take some nice pictures and
model
put
those.
those on the Instagram,
That's another
and
thing.
it's good for social credit score.
That's like these girls that are always like, solo camping and I do my vlog.
Oh
And
my
it's on
God.
YouTube. And it's just I go and in my G string and I camp.
Oh yeah, all
And
by myself.
yeah, and so guys just like, kind of jerk off and watch. But I do that. And it's not really like because
Oh, with her film crew.
I've watched some of them. Yeah. So, anyways, I probably am ashamed to say that I watched some of them. But what I notice is they're not really appreciating nature. It's more like a showcase of, well, my body and look at how I cook this chicken.
Hmm.
It's kind of more like that.
Yeah.
So you're in nature, but why are you bothering to be in nature? Just take your clothes off in your living room and cook chicken in your kitchen. Because why do you bother?
Yeah.
You're going out into nature, but you're not really like demonstrating like a love of
Well,
nature.
I think if you're so busy doing selfies and, trying to capture every moment for your social media, are you really present and enjoying nature? I think
I'm wondering.
you're more about just getting that digital footprint, you
I'm
know?
thinking that's like one of the character traits of the now generation is we have all been conditioned to believe that we are characters in a show.
Hmm.
That's what our
Maybe
life
we
is.
are. Maybe we are.
We're characters in a
Maybe
show.
this is all a big show
That's it.
and we're just all playing a part.
We're playing a part in a
And
movie.
it's just some kind of computer program that we're
And
living.
so, what you should do is you should live your life managing your social credit score.
Hmm.
Because what you do when you manage your social credit score is a lot of it you manage your image.
Hmm.
So, we've talked about people who have a perfect scorecard. Their perfect scorecard is look at my body is really sexually attractive. My husband is really sexually attractive. And we have lots of sex and we tell people how much sex we have. We have like we have like a blog that we do with our sex life and tell people how perfect
I
it
bet
is.
there's people that do that.
They do. And they just brag about. So first of
It's
all,
called a slog.
it's a sex blog. So these people. So this is like, let's say. So what you have to do when you're looking at the now generation is kind of ask yourself, who wins? Who's the winner?
Right.
The winner is perfect physical traits, and we're in a perfect relationship. We've been in a relationship. We're in love, and we have
And we have
lots of sex.
perfect photos,
Perfect photos.
perfectly lit. And then if they aren't quite lit right, we just use a filter.
We
And
do
we
that.
and we tweak the lighting, and then we like have another filter that where we can like sort of like tweak, like make us look skinnier or fatter.
Yep.
Post the pictures only when they're perfectly edited.
When they're perfect. So our image is perfect, but also our financial wherewithal is always kind of infused in our image.
Mm.
We need people to know that our materialism is very good. So that's another thing. And so that's like the perfect person. It's like, okay, we're married, we have lots of money, we have lots of sex, and we go travel around a lot. Our lifestyle is so epic. And so they round out their scorecard, but they're kind of psychopaths and they're
Mhm.
kind of ignorant and they're kind of drinking Kool-Aid. But see, you're not supposed to really have a problem with that. You're
No,
supposed to just be like, but look how perfect their image is.
right.
Because that's what it all is. We're all two-dimensional now
Yeah.
because everything is in your screen. And this is a two-dimensional depiction. This is not the real deal.
No, and I really think that it's making steps towards becoming part of us. It's from the handheld device to the wearable device to next thing you know, it's going to be
Mm,
part of us.
that was your initial like thesis.
Yeah,
The thesis is that the now generation is normalizing digital
obedience.
lifestyle. So we have kind of become cyborgs.
Yeah.
So
And this is
the phone is not necessarily surgically installed into us
yet.
yet, but that's kind of because if you look at your phone, it's never far from you. So
No.
you might as well have it
And so
digitally,
many people,
surgically
yeah,
enhanced.
I mean, look at how people at Whole Foods, you can like hold your palm up to the cash register to pay for your stuff now. Look at how many people are going to just be like, oh, yeah, it's much more convenient I don't need to have to carry a
And what if you
purse
go
or
to
a
somebody
phone.
and you say, hey, wait, but do you see the slippery slope there? Do you see that if you allow yourself to get corralled into that, there could potentially, hypothetically, come a time where the powers that be say that you're no longer reliable
Mm-hmm.
and you get soylent green because people aren't open to that.
No, they're not. I think it's important for people to realize it is a slippery slope. And, so many people are on board with everything digital now. It's going to be really hard to turn the ship around. So, um,
Well, this is what I say.
yeah,
We become the zeitgeist and the followers go where the money and the power
yeah.
is.
So
So there is a white pill.
yeah,
Let's talk white pill on
okay.
this one.
Well, I think we have to keep insisting on, using paper money and just not all accepting that there's no other way to have these things. Like, you know, I want a paper menu.
I think so awesome. I think what you need to do with these people is you're not going to be able to stop the behavior because it's convenient.
Exactly.
It's really convenient and it's in crowd. They're getting rewarded for this
Hmm.
behavior. They're getting validated for this behavior. So the behavior is not
And
going to stop
and it's
until,
conducive to a short attention span, which everybody has
oh
now.
my God, yes. Oh my God, yes. Because what happens when you scroll?
It's
We
just
have scroll minds.
yeah,
So you look at this, now I'm done. Now I scroll. Now I'm
yeah.
looking at this. Now I'm done. I look at
And
this.
I want my burger now. I don't want to have to wait, so I'm just gonna like order it and go in and get it. Yeah,
I'm guilty.
you
You ever
are.
heard that song from Therapy in the 1990s? It was like a heavy metal song. And he goes, and I'm guilty. I'm guilty too. And I feel like that's me. I'm guilty of it because for instance, my daughter likes to get smoothies
Yeah.
every day. She wants a smoothie. And she's like, Daddy, go give me a smoothie. And I'm like, so tired of going to this smoothie place because sometimes you go there and the line is like 15 people.
I know. I'm
And
telling you, I think you need to get a blender.
no, I know. But anyways, so
You're gonna save a ton of money.
I know, but whatever. So, anyways, let's just hypothetically look at that. Like, I could show up there and wait in line.
Right.
There's
Right.
some times where I'm not even joking. It would be like 45 minutes for me to get a
Oh
smoothie
my gosh.
because
Well, and part of
the
the
employees walk around like vaccinated. They
yeah,
go very slow.
but part of the problem too is everybody's ordering online. So instead of everybody going there and waiting in line their turn, they're dealing with a few people coming in, but then they're also dealing with 25 people online.
You know what I just thought of? This is, I mean, it's not brand new, but it's kind of a new phenomena.
Hmm.
Having all these orders coming in digitally
Yeah,
is kind of a new phenomena for fast food to deal with.
right.
So I don't think they've properly assimilated it yet.
Yeah,
But rest assured, they're going to figure it out because it is conducive to the culture club.
it is.
So you watch, they're going to get good at that.
Yeah. So what were starting to say something
White
about the
pill?
white pill? Yeah.
Well, so the white pill is, I don't think you're going to be able to get people to change their behavior by saying, hey, no, stop now.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to work. So, how do we avoid it? Um, I think people have to say, if I keep doing meth, I'm going to lose all my teeth and get acne
Hmm.
really bad. And I'm going to be impotent and then I'm going to die. And then they go, I don't want that to happen. I'm going to quit doing meth. And I am going to do it for myself. I think that's what's going to have to happen.
People need to realize that it's going to be better for them to not be a digital prisoner.
What if the phones are methamphetamine?
Hmm.
What if people are
They
addicted to
are. They
methamphetamine?
are addicted.
Because they're like, well, I'm addicted to my phone, but it's just my phone. But what if you say, no, that's methamphetamine? That's poison
Yeah.
that you're addicted to. Because, and then they go, no, no, my social media and my social credit score is good. But see, I think what's going to end up happening is people are going to come to realize that epiphany, epiphany, epiphany.
Okay.
What if people in this country came to realize that it's not fulfilling to merely meet the criteria of the social credit score? What if that's not fulfillment? What if people come to realize that that's not fulfilling and that love and meaningful experiences and purpose driven life, like you've mentioned this a lot when you talk about self esteem, a purpose driven life.
Mm-hmm.
Because what is this kind of now generation character traits? What does this kind of suggest? It's kind of a just immediate placating kind of like I just live my life every 5 minutes, like Dory.
For the now.
Hmm.
And that's another reason why I call it the now generation.
And I'm kind of a bottomless pit.
It's for immediate gratification and for right now.
Oh my God. So, like, what happens is if you can order your food and have it delivered, and you can go find anyone who wants to have sex with you in a 2.5 mile radius using your phone, you're going to become a bottomless pit
Mm-hmm.
because it's very conducive. So, I think the white pill again is don't become an immoral bottomless pit
Yeah.
because if you are not immoral, then you're going to be able to see the warning signs of being corralled into a digital prison and have the self-control to not go along with it. And I think you have to have morality to do that.
Totally.
Because if you're in a moral bottomless pit, what do you care about tyranny? I
Exactly.
don't care. As long as you have your drugs and your sex, it's fine. Tyranny's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I have Black Lives Matter and Love is Love in my window. So I'm fine. It doesn't matter.
And my Ukrainian flag.
My Ukrainian flag is there. And excuse me, trust the science. So,
And put your mask on.
you can't put your mask on. So therefore, I'm on board with their team.
Yeah.
So nothing's going to happen to me. So I think that's kind of the thing that we have to like get people to say is, well, you're being an immoral bottomless pit.
Well, I think also like a point maybe that you're trying to make is, I mean, can I just finish your point for you?
Yes.
Is that maybe we're about ready to completely come full circle, and maybe people will start to see that this this digital enslavement is not really the meaning of life or the appreciation of the here and now,
Mm.
but maybe if we escape this digital enslavement, we can actually appreciate life and what's happening right now all around us.
Yes. Yes.
So,
And I think so. So what you're saying is finishing my point. What it is um, paradigm shift
mhm,
rather than a behavioral change. I think the paradigm shift needs to take place first
yeah,
because you're not going to drive people's behavior differently.
yeah.
It's too convenient.
If people see that and realize that and want that, then they're going to change their behaviors.
Like me, I'm even just reflecting on how much I use the app to order food, and you're making me kind of stop and recognize, look though, what you're doing. I know it's convenient,
You're
but
inviting in digital enslavement.
yeah, so you have to have a conscience in order to say, you know what, that's true. That convenience I'm going to forego.
There's a price to pay for these conveniences.
And immoral bottomless pits don't pay price.
Not immediately,
No.
but there's always a
Oh, well,
price to
no,
pay.
they pay long term. No,
There's
no, no.
always a price to pay.
But see, okay, so I guess there's consequences, but there's no sacrifice. They're not going to,
Not at the moment.
well, they're only going to make a sacrifice when it becomes like necessary for them to keep their social credit score up.
Right.
That they only
They
sacrifice for their credit score.
they're going to need to see like um a personal price to pay. And
Yes.
once they see that and it affects them personally, then I think those people will start to kind of wake up.
And you just hit the nail on the head with, I think, the gist of what's going on. And this was a great episode. This was a great observation that you made and a great episode. I think to kind of summarize it is um, people aren't going to quit doing crack until they're ready to quit doing crack.
Right.
And right now, what I'm noticing is blue pill people are kind of complacent.
They are. Totally.
They kind of got all of their satiates, all of their little lusts, and all of their little ego strokes are all there.
Mm-hmm.
So they are bread and circus right now.
Right.
They are Brave New World. They got their soma and they're all having sex and driving their Teslas.
Yeah, the phones and all the apps and everything are the new Soma.
It's soma.
Totally.
So right now what you have is people who are placated, and you go up and you tell Fat Steve, we hit an iceberg. You have to go to the
Lifeboat.
you have to go to the lifeboats. We just hit an iceberg. We're on the Titanic. We just hit an iceberg. And he's like, well,
Where's the roast beef?
I'm at the I'm at my midnight snack. I don't care about going to the lifeboats right now. I'm really happy about I'm gonna go sit down and have fondue. I'm gonna have cherries jubilee, and I'm gonna have some baked Alaska. And I don't care right now because I'm stoked. This is going to taste really good, and I'm fat. And good tastes are what I live for. I had an application on my app that gave me a notification, told me to come to this midnight buffet. So therefore, I don't think that Fat Steve is gonna leave the buffet,
Yeah.
even if you tell him he hit an iceberg.
Right.
Fat Steve has to start seeing the water kind of filling up. And then now the water has caused the buffet to kind of start to melt. And he's like, well, wait a minute, where's my buffet? And they're going, well, we hit an iceberg, and now the boat has sunk to the point where now even the buffet's been ruined. And then he's gonna go, maybe I should get off here.
Yeah.
That's how it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So Fat Steve has to finally go, okay.
Yeah. Totally.
You have anything else?
No, that was fun.
That was so good. That was a great observation.
Talk to you soon.
Okay.
Bye.